Welcome to the channel, friends. So today's video is going to be covering the Honeywell Pro 3000 series non-programmable thermostat. So this is what the thermostat looks like. Very simple layout, big LCD display. This also comes in a programmable version, which is this one right here. I'll make a separate video. But this video is going to be covering the non-programmable manual style thermostat. Very simple operation. You have an up and down button. You have your system button, which is cool, off, and heat. And then your fan auto and on switch here. So these switches, you want to set the fan to auto. That will automatically turn off and on with your cooling and heating as needed. If you switch it to on, it will actually stay on indefinitely. So that's only if you want to manually circulate the air in the house when the heating and cooling is not active. So always keep that in auto. That's how it should be set. Now moving along, we want to choose from either cool or heat or off, as you can see here. And it's a very simple thermostat. I want to cover just the basic operation as well as the setup menu installer setup on this video. So to operate this, you want to decide whether you want to be in cool and heat. So we're going to decide to be in heat today. And as you can see on the screen, you have your set point, which is here, the smaller number. So we're going to set that to 72. And this right here, the larger number is going to be your inside temperature, as you can see there. That's the actual room temperature. So as the room heats up, this number should increase. It's as simple as that. And this will hold it indefinitely. It's a manual style thermostat. So you don't have to worry about this set point changing at any time. Whatever you set it to, it's going to stay there. So you set it to 74, it's going to stay at 74 until you come back over to the thermostat and come over and set it back to, say, 68 if you go into sleep and you want to turn the heat down. So that there is the basic manual operation. Let's go ahead and show you the setup menu. So to do the setup menu, you actually have to hold down these two buttons. And once you do that, you will have a different menu available. And this larger number is the function number, and then the smaller one is the setting. So as you cycle through the up button, you will get different functions. And some of these change depending if you're in cooling or heat. So let me go to the test function, which is this one here, 10 and 70. So let's go back. So 10 here. See how this will change to 30 when you're in cooling and go back to 10 when you're in heat? That's a different test, a system test. So I will go over that in just 1 second. But I want to show you how to cycle through these first. So let's go back to the first one. If you wanted to change it, you would simply hit the down button. As you can see, that changed from 0 to 1. And we can go back to 0 once we hit it one more time. All right, so as you can see here, this is called the installer setup. This is something you want to do when you first install the thermostat. Very important. As you can see, the large number is the function number, and then the smaller number is the setting. So number one, function number one will be system type. 0 equals gas, oil, electric, heat, or with air conditioning. 1 equals heat pump. Function number 5 is heating cycle rate. 5 stands for gas or oil furnaces of less than 90% efficiency. 1 is for steam or gravity systems. 3 is for hot water systems only, and furnaces over 90% efficiency. 9 is for electric furnaces. So also, as you notice, these bold numbers are going to be your defaults. Function number 6 is going to be your auxiliary heat cycle rate. So cycles per hour. Defaults to 5, which is for gas or oil furnaces of less than 90% efficiency. 1 is for steam and gravity systems only. 3 is for hot water systems. 9 is for electric furnaces. Function number 8 is emergency heat cycle rate. So same thing, cycles per hour. 9 is for electric emergency heat. 1 is for steam or gravity systems. 3 is for hot water systems. 5 is for gas or oil furnaces of less than 90% efficiency. 9 is going to be compressor cycle rate, so cycles per hour. Setting 3, recommended for most compressors. Other cycle rate options, 1, 2, 4, 5, and 6 cycles per hour. So you will set that accordingly depending on how many times you prefer the system to turn on. You can limit that. That way you're not overly using the system. Next is 14, which is temperature display. 0 is Fahrenheit, 1 is Celsius. And the very last one is 15, which is compressor protection. And it's set to default 5, which is 5-minute compressor off time. Other options include 0, 1, 2, 3, 4-minute off times. All right, so that there is the installer setup, which is very important to know when you first install this thermostat in your home. You want to configure it properly depending on your heating and cooling type. Now, if you want to take a look at the installer system test, those are the numbers I showed you, 10, 30, and 70. It will go through this list here. So back at the thermostat, when we go into this, and like I showed you, sorry. All right, so back at the thermostat, this is when you cycle through at the very end of the menu, and you get these numbers that say 10 and 70. So 70 is simple. It just basically goes through this list. I'm going to read them off in just one second. But if you were to have this thing set to cool, it would switch to 30 as a system test. Just showing you where to access this and how it functions. You will go ahead and just figure this out further according to your system if you want to go through the system tests. But I just want to make you guys aware of it. But let's go over what each one of these categories mean. So system test number 10 is going to be heating system. And your functions here, your settings, your 0, 1, and 2. So 0 is going to be heat and fan turn on. 1 is heat turns on. 2 is auxiliary heat turns on. So the next one will be 20, and that's emergency heat. And 0 is heat and fan turn off. 1 is heat and fan turn on. 2 is auxiliary heat turns on. 30 is cooling system. 0 is compressor and fan turn off. 1 is compressor and fan turn on. And the very last one, 70, is just for reference. It just displays what the actual revision is or whatever. So 71 is software revision number. 72 is software revision number, minor revisions. 73 is configuration identification code. 74 is configuration identification code, minor. 75 is production configuration date code, week. 76 is production configuration date code, year. Most of you guys are not even going to use this, but I went ahead and covered it anyways just to make you guys aware of it. But for the most part, you'll be taking care of this. This is the most important. Those system test things are really not that big of a deal. But that there is the coverage of this thermostat here. It's a very simple thermostat. You know, I like it because it has a large display, and you can see. Let's just get out of this mode first. So we're back at the main display. Very large lettering and numbers, so you don't have to worry about programming anything. It's a very simple up or down thermostat, manual style. It does have batteries, and let's take a look really quick at the backside. So we have 2 AA batteries. There is a switch here. So to the left, it's for electric or heat pump, and then to the right is for gas or oil. And there are your connections. Very simple. So check out my next video. I will be going over the programmable type version of this Pro 3000 thermostat. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And if you have any other questions or comments, please place them right down below. I want to thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.